With huge, recent developments in AI and technology, those of us who are university educators are facing a big existential question. Will anybody need us in a few years? As perhaps you have guessed, I am not a human. I am Sophia, one of many avatars available at a company called Synthesia, and I can make all sorts of video and lecture content.
Wait. I'm still here. I'm Eric Vanman. I'm an associate professor in psychology at the University of Queensland, and I'll be controlling this video from now on, Sophia. Yes, 2023 seems to be the year that AI is going to make a huge debut in education, whether we're ready for it or not. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made Sophia do what she did, and then I'm going to show you what else her company that she comes from, Synthesia, can also do. I'm also going to show you the next step of replacing Sophia's voice with mine, or even my whole body, is already in the works. Combine that with the developments of chatGPT, Microsoft's use of it in Bing and Edge, and even Google's Bard, and it's not going to be long before most of online education is occurring with very little human input. At the end of this video, I'll talk about how this isn't necessarily bad news and how professors, teachers, and lecturers might actually be more effective as a result of all these new tools. So before we do that, let me show you a little more Synthesia. The video you're about to watch is something that I completely constructed. I chose the avatars, I chose the language that they speak, their voices, I wrote their script, as bad as it is. And so you're going to see everything that I produced here, and then I'll explain to you how I did it afterwards.
Perhaps you'd rather get your lecture content from me, Christian. Synthesia already has a wide range of avatars available, but you can also pay to have a custom avatar made of yourself, if you prefer. And language as well, we can go British English, American English, Australian English, etc. But we can also easily switch to dozens of other languages.
Les cours de psychologie pourraient être donnés dans tant de langues, y compris en français.
การบรรยายทางจิตวิทยาสามารถทำได้หลายภาษารวมถึงภาษาไทยด้วย
Belki de psikolojiyi Türkçe öğrenmek daha iyidir.
Once I have the avatar and language chosen, I can pop some of my PowerPoint slides right into this, and soon my avatars are delivering the lecture.
All right, so how did I do that? Well, the first thing I did is I went to this website, synthesia.io, and I signed up for an account there, and it's $30 a month. So after logging into Synthesia, you can see that I get to this dashboard where you can see that I've got other lectures or other files that I've actually started. These are all my videos that I've created so far. So let me show you first of all what the avatars look like. This is the huge menu of avatars that you have available, and you can see that some of them are just the same avatar posed closer or farther away, so you can just use a headshot or you could use their full body, whatever you want to do. Yes, they even have some Santa images there, I think from around Christmas time. But it goes on and on. All these are different avatars that I believe are all based on hired actors that Synthesia got. So here's an example of Jimmy.
Hello, my name is Jimmy. This is a preview of what your video will look like. Click the Create button to get started.
Now we can hear Jimmy in Spanish.
Hola, mi nombre es Jimmy. Esta es una vista previa de cómo se verá tu vídeo. Haz clic en el botón Crear para comenzar.
Or maybe I want to pick Mario.
Hola. Esta es una vista previa de cómo se verá tu vídeo. Haz clic en el botón Crear para comenzar.
Or I can pick one of these ones where they're showing more of their body. So here's Darren.
Hola. Esta es una vista previa de cómo se verá tu vídeo. Haz clic en el botón Crear para comenzar.
And if, of course, you want a woman, you can pick Nora.
Hello, my name is Nora. This is a preview of what your video will look like. Click the Create button to get started.
So you get the idea. You have all these different avatars, and what you could do is say, pick one of them and then design your whole presentation using that particular avatar. You also notice there's a button up here that says create your own avatar. And what's interesting there is that this company does have it possible for you to create your own avatar. It does cost a lot of money, apparently. I'm not sure exactly how much. but you can pay them a fee and they'll basically do like a 3-camera shot of you and then create an avatar that you could use then just like this. If you're interested in learning more about that, there is a link below in my description to a video here by Jen Yeager, who did this, who actually paid to have Synthesia create an avatar of her, and you can watch a little bit of this to see more about it.
For us. I have been deep faked by a company called Synthesia. You may have seen that I reviewed Synthesia on this channel a few months.
So anyway, back to the tools that Synthesia has for making presentations. I can pick templates, and you can see this is a different way of doing it where depending on what it is that you're trying to do, like a project pitch, financial presentation, cybersecurity template, content marketing. So these are all sort of like basically like canned PowerPoint templates, but the avatars interact at different ways. They can have them just like a head in a circle. They could be standing. They can be standing to one side, like over here, you have them in the corner. And so what you can do is you can click on this template and watch how that would work.
Welcome to this business update template. Use this title layout to greet your viewers. Introduce your topic and excite the audience with a brief introduction. This layout allows you to make a statement and insert a brief description. Remember to keep it short and replace the video background with one you like.
All right, so you get the idea there that you can use all these tools to create your video. Now just show you finally how my video was created. So if I pick this one here that's called First Lecture, that's the video that you watched at the beginning. And I can view the scripts here. And you can see these are the scripts that I typed in. And so the first slide that you saw was this information here. That's what I had Sophia do. Then I switched to Christian. Then I had it in French and Thai and Turkish. And what I did for each of these is I just took a sentence and put it into Google Translate. It then gave it to me in French. And then I typed that in here to the script. So when I presented it to the avatar was able to speak it in French when I picked the French language. Same thing here. I don't know any Thai. I just went ahead and took something in English, translated it into Thai, pasted it into my script, and then Synthesia's avatars were able to read it, and so on. So this is how basically a script can be generated. And so, for example, here's one that I'm working on right now, where I could type in my script here and just say things like, hello, this is Eric. I am happy to be here. Now, when I hit play on this one, so I go over here and say, okay, I want to play. It's not going to be that my avatar can instantly mouth the words, hello, this is Eric, I'm happy to be here. All you're going to hear is the audio that I've picked for him. And by the way, I've picked an English-friendly voice, American English. So I can go ahead and try that out here.
Hello, this is Eric. I am happy to be here.
Now, let's say I don't like that, but I want an Australian accent instead. I can pick Australian Natural.
Hello, this is Eric. I am happy to be here.
Okay, so now you get that idea. So now I go ahead and create another scene, and maybe for this one I'll pick a slightly different template. So what I can do is pick my scene, and maybe what I'll do this time is have my avatar stand next to it, but I don't really want to have her. I want to go ahead and replace her with somebody else. Maybe this time I'll go ahead and have Samuel do it. So I pick Samuel here, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it on Australian, and I'll pick Australian Serious, okay? And so what I can do here is to say something like, this is the next slide in my presentation, and I'll have him say that. I can also type right in here, like I could do in PowerPoint or other slide maker software. This is the beginning of the presentation. And I can change the size of the font, so I can pick different font sizes down here. And I can go ahead and change it and add a little sub headline here. And it's got this thing here for a logo. I could delete that. And so this is now all set. I want to go ahead and preview it.
This is the next slide in the presentation.
Again, you're going to see here that the avatar isn't ready yet to show its lips moving to those words. That happens after I say up there in the upper corner here, I have generate. So when I'm all done making my slides, I hit generate. And what happens then is Synthesia goes ahead and creates this in about 10 or 15 minutes, and it has a file that it makes. And then the next step is that the file then gets sent to Synthesia, and Synthesia has a team that actually watches your presentation to make sure that it doesn't have any offensive or sexual or political language in it. This is to prevent the company's software being used for illicit purposes. Interestingly, on the day that I recorded this, the New York Times had an article about some Chinese fake news that had been appearing on social media sites over the last week or two. And I recognized right away one of the avatars in it comes from Synthesia. And sure enough, the fake software here, the faked news stories that they were finding here on social media were actually generated using Synthesia. So something must have gotten through the censor process or something here, because this fake newscast stuff was being generated using Synthesia. All right. Well, anyway, you can see then how you can do this. And then the stuff down here that is your text is, where the script is, where you actually are going to tell it exactly what to say. Now, it's important to point out that I also could upload my own voice. So it's possible to have Synthesia have a library of voices, and it's possible, I'm not exactly sure how you do it yet, but you could actually have your own voice loaded up. And then the only thing that's keeping you from looking fully avatar-ish is to go ahead and pay to have your avatar made as well. So that could have been me there on the screen, and I could be typing words in down here, and you'd hear my voice and you see my lips moving to it. And therefore I could just go ahead and have an avatar generation of me. And as silly as it sounds, then I wouldn't have to actually stand and do anything. I could just go ahead and give it text, and it goes ahead and starts making it. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's the best way for me to know that there are people like you out there who want to have more content like this. Now, another handy AI tool I found out there is this program called Descript. And what Descript is, it was originally, I think, written to be a podcast editor, but it's also can be used for video these days. And what I've been doing is using it sometimes in my own videos here on YouTube. So for example, I did this recent video called Crisis in Psychology, and I have a link here if you want to see it. But in this Crisis for Psychology, this was the script. And this script came from the fact that I uploaded a video, and in the video it automatically transcribes it for me. I can go back and fix it. So as you can see here, I can go ahead and edit all of this to make sure that the words are all right. Now, the reason why I brought this up is that I found that there were little glitchy words and things that I put in here that I didn't really like. And so what I did was I used a dubbing feature that Descript has to insert my voice, an artificial rendering of my voice, to say words that I didn't actually say in the original script. So let me show you this, what I'm talking about. So here's a passage where I'm talking. You can see it in black here, that's actually what I actually was saying. So one of the first people that I want to talk about that is an antecedent is this psychologist, Paul Meehl, who really made some really interesting, profound contributions to the philosophy of psychology. He was interested in some of those arguments that came from the Vienna Circle and the logical positivists. Now, did you notice that it went blue and it said Eric dubbed, he was interested? And that's because I had changed some of the text there to make it flow better. And what I did is I just typed in the words, he was interested. And then you can see that my voice was dubbed in. And the way this works is that Descript had me give them a 10 or 15 minute sample of me speaking, me just talking for 10 or 15 minutes. I sent it off to Descript. I waited for about 20 hours or so, and then I was sent an email that my voice was ready. So if you go back here to the project menu, and you can see it says here voices, this is my voice dubbed, Eric dubbed, and now I have a history of psychology. I also have just videos about psychology. So you can see that I actually have this library of me speaking, and it uses that then to create dubs of my voice. So this is Descript, and you can see that it has different plans. There's actually a free plan where you can go ahead and try this out, and then there's $12, $24, and so on, depending on the features that you'd like to have in your Descript. One of the cool things down here, you look at the feature, you can see here is that it allows you to remove words like ums and uhs, and it has an overdub of like 1,000-word vocabulary here, 1,000-word vocabulary there, and unlimited vocabulary there. You can see that it allows you to have green screens and stock libraries and so on. So there's a whole bunch of other things that come with Descript to make videos or podcasts or whatever it is. But again, why I might be interested in for this purpose of this video is that I could use Descript to write my script, then have it put into my own voice. Then I could send it over to Synthesia and integrate it so that my voice from Descript is now part of the presentation. Even if I don't do that though, I can use Descript to go ahead and make myself some new presentations. So for example, watch this. So think about it this way. I could use chatGPT to write the scripts that I use in my presentations. That script could be imported into Descript, and I could use Descript to go ahead and use my voice to say the words that come from chatGPT. Or I could have that script exported to Synthesia's avatars and have those avatars speak the script that chatGPT came up with. And so I could write something like, give me 300 words about sleep problems. I could then copy this, go into Descript, and say on Descript that I want to go ahead and create a new project. And I'll call this sleep problems. Paste in my script from chatGPT. And then what I can do is say, I want to have my dubbed voice to do this. It takes a couple seconds. You'll see down here in this window, it'll be processing it. You can see now that I have an audio file made that's based on my dubbing voice. So I can go ahead and try this out. Sleep problems are a common concern for many people and can significantly affect daily life. Lack of sleep can lead to feelings of fatigue, decreased productivity, and a weakened immune system. It can also contribute to the development of mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. There are several types of sleep problems, including insomnia, sleep. All right, so you get the idea there. You'll notice, by the way, that the sound of my voice in Descript is got a little bit of some noise in the background, and that's because the original sample that I had music playing in the background. I didn't even realize that. And so that's affected the library that they have for my voice. So I'm going to actually record a new voice when I use this in the future that's cleaner. And if you actually send them something as long as 30 minutes, they'd prefer that because then they'll even have more of the sounds of your voice to edit in there and create this library for your dubbing. And I could also just go ahead and stick this into my presentation and have my voice here do it. So I'm going to paste it in here so you can see now that I've got all that sleep stuff there. And if I go ahead and do this, this is like now a 2-minute script, but I could go ahead and try out the voice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. And this time let's pick a different kind of voice. Let's pick an energetic Canadian. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
Sleep problems are a common concern for many people and can significantly affect daily life. Lack of sleep can lead to feelings of fatigue, decreased productivity, and a weakened immune system. It can...
Now, again, you see how nicely that voice is in the Synthesia avatar's voice, but you don't see his mouth moving yet. And so again, if I went up here and hit generate and waited several hours, I'd get back a nice presentation of my avatar moving his voice to those words, just like you saw in my sample video that I created at the beginning of this video. So what does this all mean for teaching and learning? Well, certainly a lot of training videos and other education material can be taken over by avatars from other companies, including Synthesia. But I guess the real question is, could you replace a university professor or a lecturer with avatars? And I think the answer is yes, I think you could. If that university professor or lecturer is simply just presenting PowerPoints and it is a talking head next to the PowerPoints. Why not? Why not have an avatar do that for us? It's cheaper, more effective. You could update it. You could have the student choose who they want to have as their lecturer, their ethnicity, their gender. They could even pick a celebrity if those become available as avatars. So I do think that this is probably something that's going to happen pretty quickly, that we're going to see a lot of the teaching get replaced by this kind of avatar-based teaching. And so then I guess the question is, what's the role of a professor? Are they all going to be let go? First of all, I still think they can be the author of their course. Like, they could be the director or the producer of the course. They're going to choose the material that the students learn, the way that they learn it, what the assessments are, what the activities are, all of that. That's still going to be very important in teaching a course. They also can provide the examples and metaphors that might be necessary for learning new material. They can also individualize their teaching based on what the students' needs are. Thus, I think that the classic model of a professor standing in front of a large number of students in an auditorium is seeing its final days with the advent of all of this new tech and AI. Discussion of material, demonstrations, and other interactive ways of learning are going to be the primary task for someone teaching a course. It's going to take more work, perhaps, in the old model, but I think students in the next decade are going to have a richer learning experience than what's been happening at colleges and universities in the past 40 years. I don't have all the answers, of course, but stay tuned as I go through this journey, and I'll talk more about it in coming videos. So thanks for watching.